Now, as I said, we're going to be live to Wales in a moment or two's time, but with me here in front of Buckingham Palace is Sarah Hewson, the Royal Editor for Talk TV, and one of my favourite blokes on UK TV is none other than Mark Dolan, and Mark is on GB News, and I watch him oh so regularly. Lovely to see you both. How are you?
Great to see you both.
All right. So, Sarah, take us through the expectations of the next few minutes, because any time we're just going to start to see live pictures, people already inside cathedrals in Wales.
Yes, and Charles is going to set foot on Welsh soil for the first time as king, the land that gave him his title as the Prince of Wales. And he is going to be attending a service at Llandaff Cathedral, service of prayer and reflection. We're going to have a 21-gun salute to mark his arrival, military presence there as well, more of the ceremony that we've seen over the previous days. And then he will travel to the Senedd to meet the First Minister, Mark Drakeford, and meetings at Cardiff Castle as well. More walkabouts, getting out amongst the people. We are also expecting some protests, potentially a silent protest, because there is, among some in Wales, disappointment and anger that the title of the Prince of Wales was automatically handed to Prince William. Those who feel that it shouldn't have been done so, particularly without consideration. And there were protests back in 1969 as well at the time of Charles' investiture as Prince of Wales. 70 to 80% approval ratings at that time, but still very vocal protests, and it will be interesting to see what we see today on the streets of Wales.
What would they prefer have happened? The title not to be awarded, or because it's essentially a form of separatism?
So it goes back to the 13th century and the taking over of Wales by the English, and there is a feeling that perhaps this should be a Welsh title, not a hereditary title given to the heir to the throne.
Mark Dolan, when you're on air, there are these little landmines everywhere, including how some people feel in Wales about events like what's going to be happening today. How have you been traversing those?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that those voices that will be concerned about the appointment of William as Prince of Wales will be in the minority and short-lived, because William is box office. And it's great news for the royal family to have this guy. He's probably, our greatest asset now, him and Kate. Not to take anything away from the new king and Queen Camilla, but, this guy's the future. He's telegenic, he's photogenic, he's charming. He's brilliant at reading the public mood, and he will be a magnificent Prince of Wales. And I'm confident that he'll do the people of Wales very proud. And it's interesting, as Sarah mentioned, that Charles, of course, now focused on his visit to Wales. The Queen passed away in Scotland at Balmoral, which was her favourite home. And the first thing Charles did on Wednesday was to go to Northern Ireland. And that's because he has two challenges for his monarchy, and that's to preserve the United Kingdom, the union of the United Kingdom, and the Commonwealth. And he's starting at home by consolidating the political project that is the Active Union, holding the country together, which, by the way, is no mean feat at the moment.
Well, also, I get the sense that as the Queen built the Commonwealth, Charles is going to want to strengthen it, and therefore doesn't have known aggressive views about Antigua and Barbados and potentially places like Australia, that if the transition was, OK, we're not going to have a role as your head of state.
You're no longer be head of state, but you remain a much-loved member of the Commonwealth.
Which
and
is
that's the approach that was taken to Barbados. He attended the independence ceremony there, and it was done with the monarch's blessing. Yeah,
because you get that feeling where, as they're trying to move to modernisation, the inevitable changes and challenges, the demographic changes in this country where the view might be a little bit different depending on where you are on the spectrum, those sorts of things are about cementing a relevance, cementing a role, and also for all of this talk about you're going to be an activist king, all the rest of it, no one's expecting him to turn up on the balcony and just start yapping for a few hours, but the way he'll be able to do that is through collective world leadership like things like that.
We're not going to hear him delivering speeches, campaigning on the environment anymore, but that issue doesn't go away and will certainly be front and centre in his rule.